Hi, Dom. How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you feeling, Mike? You're not
Um, uh,
sounding great.
no, I'm still under the weather. Hopefully, anyone listening, you'll have to be patient with me because I was sick last week and I still have this. I don't know what this is. I'm assuming it's not just a regular cold because it's really kicked my butt. And
Now it is cold and flu season, so you've got a
yeah,
lot of things to choose from.
oh yeah, yeah, and I believe me, I think I'm choosing from a couple of them. But anyway, yeah, I ended up canceling necessary blood work two weeks in a row. So here we are, and like I said, I'll just try to muster
And you're
through
you're
this.
still doing the video. That's dedication, Mike. I'm impressed.
Well, hey, we try. Um, I can't let Phoebe Cates and Jennifer Jason Leigh down. Um, this is Fast Times at Ridgemont High. Um, this was my pick, but it's really actually a viewer's pick. It's
It's a
Pat's pick.
request.
Yes. So yep, we brought this one to you, but do you want to give the intro on this one or?
Sure. It's a pretty standard teen plot. This is the 1982 um, teen comedy Fast Times at Ridgemont High. And it follows this a group of high school students, really. There's no one main character who go through their trials and tribulations, trying to get dates, trying to have sex for the first time,
Yep.
trying to mature into adulthood, you might say. It's a movie where the plot is, again, almost doesn't matter. This is more of a slice of life for
Yeah.
high school than it is everything. And one of its strengths, which we'll talk about, is it really humanizes the
Yeah.
cast. This isn't one of those, superficial teen sex comedies. This really tries to dip into the lives of these characters.
Yeah. And the other thing about this movie is the amount of known people today
We're
that
known
got their
today.
start. Nicolas Cage, who was actually billed in this as Nicholas Coppola.
Yeah, this is the movie that convinced him to change his name to Cage.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and probably rightfully so. Nick Cage is a cool movie name. So,
Well,
um,
he said he got teased so much on set
oh, I'll
for his
bet,
name.
I'll bet. And this
He
was,
was only 17 at the time.
yeah, it's amazing how young some of these people are. I mean, Sean
Well,
Penn is a
almost all of
baby.
them.
Yeah. And I mean, I think Jennifer Jason Leigh was 19 in this, but my God, she was playing like a 15-year-old and she looks it. I mean, it's crazy. There's scenes with her and you look at her and you think, wow, my God, she's a baby. Um, so they were all so young. Um,
Yeah, but
I
by the same token, to us, 25-year-olds are babies.
Yeah, true. At
I
this,
mean, you get to a
at,
certain age, and anyone under 30 looks insanely young.
well, I think I was what about 22 when this came out. I mean, I was what now I consider a baby. But again, talking about the cameos, um, the girl who pulls up alongside Judge Reinhold when he's wearing his crazy costume, that is Nancy Wilson of Heart.
Yep, she
Um,
was married to the writer of
oh,
this
I didn't
movie.
know that. I didn't know that. I didn't know that's how she
Yeah,
ended
this
up in
movie was
this.
written. This movie was written by Cameron Crowe, who based it off his novel Fast Times at Ridgemont High, a true story. He went undercover in a high school as a high school student.
Oh, I do remember hearing that years ago, but I had actually forgotten that. So that is a
Yeah,
nice piece
I,
of,
I, I did not know it. Until
yeah.
I started looking up stuff about this movie. That was a revelation. But it explains how he got such a depth of character with these people.
Yeah, yeah. No, it's crazy. And again, like, you look at even some of the little things like the vans that Sean Penn is.
Yep, yep. The company Vans credits this movie and that scene with their popularity today.
Yeah, because I mean, vans were around, but until he brought them out in this, they turned into a real thing.
Oh
So
yeah. Yeah, this movie it launched so many things, careers, products, so many things.
yeah, yeah, and it's a funny movie. It's got some moments that are quite poignant. Um,
Mhm.
there's some sweet moments in it too. I mean, Judge Reinhold and Jennifer Jason Leigh, brother and sister, and he when she ends up getting in trouble and she asked for a ride because that little jerk wouldn't even take her. I mean, I was
Oh
thinking
man,
of,
they made that guy look so bad. I mean, he was so bad, but they created his character to be such of a slime ball. You
oh
really
yeah,
hated the guy.
yeah. I mean, it's funny because he starts out kind of this. You can tell he's like, he's kind of a smooth kind of asshole, but at the same time, like as this goes on, you see that he's like really a jerk. And it's like I was thinking about it because he was trying to raise the money because he was supposed to pay for half.
Mhm.
And it's like when he's trying to raise the money, like, you know, I would have called her at least and said, "Hey, listen, I'm having trouble. I can get the rest. I've got part of the money. I don't have all of it right now. I'm really strapped, but I'll
Yeah,
give you
but
the
what you're
ride."
describing is a very mature thing to do.
That's true. That's true. And he was not. And again, like you look at her, I mean, she looked all of the age she was supposed to be portraying. So there's scenes that are actually a little difficult. There's the scene there where that sleazy because the first guy she dates, that
What, the
sleazy
26-year-old?
yeah, really. And he had to know that she was younger than what she
Hey,
was
he
saying.
asked.
He did ask. He asked more than once. I mean, he asked right there when he was deflowering her. He said, like, are you sure you're nine?" She told him she was 19. And but I was thinking about it later. Phoebe Cates married Kevin Kline, and not too long after this. But and they've had a very long lasting marriage with a couple of kids. And but he was like he was like 20 years older than her, something like that. Yeah. I think she was like 25, and he was in his 40s or something. It was
Wow.
Yes, it was crazy.
So,
So
so do you know that this movie originally was rated X?
no, but I mean, I'm sure it probably,
That
you
scene
know,
behind you,
yeah,
that opening sex scene, that was like 3 times as long originally.
really.
The director said she wanted to recreate the awkwardness of the fumbling of first time sex. And it definitely comes through.
Oh
But
my God,
evidently, it
yeah.
was supposed to be a long, awkward scene. And the censors were like, no, no, no.
Well, I mean, when you think about it, um, that like even just the stumblings of young people having sex, they did a really good job. They did a good job with both the sleaze bag here. I'm trying.
Mhm.
I can't even think, but like he basically uh, comes as quick as he
That,
arrives.
that's Mike Damone. That's the
Yes,
character, Mike
yeah, Mike
Damone.
Damone, yeah, and which was a great name for a sleazy character. Um, and that what was his name? Mark Ratner, the one
Yeah,
next
Mark
to him.
Ratner.
Yeah, but no. And then the other thing, this was actually a pretty. controversial scene at the time. A lot of movies like really frowned. I still remember. Sorry for my squeaky voice,
Oh,
but
understood.
um, but no, I still remember Private Benjamin has a scene in it, and where and Goldie Hawn fought for the scene because there's a scene where it's at her wedding, and her uh, new husband wants her to go down on him in a car outside the reception, and she's like, I'm in my wedding dress. There's people inside. I don't, and he's like really pushing her, and so she does it just because she feels obligated. It's their wedding day, and so, but she wanted the scene to remain. They wanted to give Private Benjamin an X because of
Huh.
that scene. And what you see is her head drop down. You don't see anything. There's nothing graphic. Um, but but like I said, this scene here, it probably did more to help guys have women be more receptive after this scene with both Phoebe Cates and Jennifer Jason Leigh playing with a carrot. But
I mean, this scene is just one of many where we keep talking about how awkward and young characters like Jennifer Jason Leigh were, but
yeah,
then you also have the flip side of Phoebe Cates' character believing herself to be more mature and adult than she really is.
oh yeah, way more. And yeah, she was dating some college student, and she's just as young as Jennifer Jason Leigh's character was. So
Hmm.
but then again, that is what, well, high school girls in particular. Well, I mean, high school
Well,
kids.
girls and boys. I mean, that's
Yeah,
high school.
yeah. They just want to be mature, and they want people to see them as being older or more mature, and uh, and they're trying to gain experience, and sometimes
I mean,
way
they
too.
still don't know who they are as people.
No, no. I'll tell you one thing: the stuff with Mr. Ray Walston is in this, Mr. Hand, and he is
He is
great in
great
this.
too.
He's so good in this scene here where he sends this kid out to track down because Sean Penn cannot get to class on time. And he's actually a really caring teacher. And I mean, to the point where he shows up on the kids' prom night just to prove a point. And yep, there he is, Mr. Hand.
By my calculations, you have wasted.
He was so funny. And when Sean Penn comes into the class here, he says it's not a birthday party for me. It's like the kid told him, yeah, they're having a birthday party for him. And he's so stoned he fell for it. But
Sean Penn, to get into character, did a method acting thing, and he remained Spicoli on the set the entire time of the
wow.
shoot. He insisted people call him Spicoli.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, he was this is probably the best role that I've ever seen him in. I mean, I mean, he's been in some good roles since, but this one here, him and Mr.
I don't know
Hand,
if he would like you to hear you say that, but
that's probably true because
it's
it's
definitely one of his most memorable roles.
sure, sure. He was perfect in this. But I
And the
mean,
dichotomy between these two, that this whole subplot they had going on uh,
yeah,
was really cool. You didn't need it. It wasn't a necessary part of the story, but it was just another facet of high school.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, and there's always, I mean, hey, there's always the stoner. Um, every school has at least one,
Yeah,
at
yeah.
least one.
Evidently, Cameron Crowe, the writer, when he actually went into high school, he said he followed a stoner, a jock, a bad boy, a nerd, and then just two middle of the road, middle class, very average, normal students that were brother and sister.
Right, right. Well, I'll tell you what, this is this was so well written and so well acted too by a young cast. It's
Mhm.
a terrific movie. It's got everything going for it. It's I mean, and you've got beautiful girls, good looking dudes. It's
Tasty waves.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah. Oh my God. He was so damn funny. This, yeah. Hey, bud, let's party. No, he was perfect in this, including like the later scene where Judge Reinhold ends up thwarting the robbery, partly in thanks to him, because he comes out of the bathroom and he's real stoned and he walks right out during the robbery, which gives Judge Reinhold the chance to. But yeah, he's
It's it's funny how many compelling storylines this is. If I had to describe to someone what the main story of this movie would be, it would be Mark Ratner and Stacy and them finding each other, them trying to find themselves and them finding each other. But then you had, Spicoli and Mr. Hand, you had Forrest Whitaker and his car.
yeah,
You
yeah,
had all these things.
yeah.
The one person I will always remember is Spicoli.
Oh yeah, yeah. Spicoli in many ways stole the movie.
They totally
Um,
stole it.
yeah, between him and Phoebe Cates, they stole the movie. Now, one of the little cameos in here, and it's a tragic story.
I was wondering if you knew this. Yeah.
Yeah, this is Lana Clarkson, the girl on the far side there, and who played the wife of the science teacher, or what was he, a biology teacher, a
Uh,
science teacher, whatever.
Science teacher.
Yeah,
I didn't know if it got more specific than that.
but she was very young, very beautiful, kind of just, I would say, just starting out. Um, but do you want to say the trivia, because I think you know it yourself.
Oh, yeah, I do too. So,
Yeah,
I don't know if anyone watching or listening recognizes the name Phil Spector.
yeah, you
Very
should.
famous but reclusive music producer. Fabulously wealthy as far
Very
as,
talented, responsible for what's known as the wall of sound. But go ahead, tell the
but
story.
I mean, I don't know much more than he killed her. He shot her.
Yeah, they went. He went out. He was always a nut. There were people that knew him always said he had a really dark side to him, and he went out one evening, and tragically they ended up hooking up while they were out, and he ended up convincing her to come back to his house, and the limo driver brought them back, and I don't think she wanted to stay. So, but because the limo driver was actually waiting in the car, from what I gather, and and he heard a shot, and Phil Spector tried to say she killed herself, which was complete and utter bullshit. Everything about the scene showed that there's no way that she killed herself.
Well, I mean, he
And
wasn't believed. He's still in jail for murder, right?
I think he might have died, actually. I'm
Ah,
not sure. He was definitely in jail for murder. And I thought because I know he wasn't in good health. So I think maybe that he was trying to get out of prison because his health was bad. But I
yeah,
mean,
he died.
yeah. And he managed to, because of lawyers and legal wrangling, he managed to avoid prison for a long time. But yeah, he was absolutely guilty of killing her. Whatever the motive was behind it, who knows? Maybe he was trying to
Mhm.
convince her to have sex with him, whatever it was. But it's a tragic story. But that is one of the roles that she was actually in. Um, so just as a side note, there's so many like little mini stories behind this movie. Um, and again, you were talking about Forrest Whitaker's in this, um, which is another one of the funnier scenes in this movie is when Sean Penn and and Forrest
This guy's
Whitaker's
little
brother,
brother.
yeah, they're riding around stoned, and he's actually banging into other cars. He's cutting in between cars. He's driving completely reckless. And
It's somewhat unbelievable that anyone would have handed him the keys to that car.
well, I don't think I think the brother might have had it. And Sean Penn, yeah, I mean probably they were both stoned enough that he let Sean Penn drive it. But and Sean Penn was convincing him that he was a good driver. That there's well, we both pulled up the same this, but the results of it are this,
Yep.
which was hysterical because the first thing he says is the kid's going, my brother's gonna kill us. He's gonna kill us. He's gonna shit. And he goes, well, which is he gonna do? Is he gonna and he goes, he's gonna shit first and then he's gonna kill us.
I gotta admit, this was an elegant solution to
It
blame it on
was.
a rival school.
It was so good what they came up with because they had at first Sean Penn is saying, I can fix it. My dad's a TV repairman
He's
and
got
he's
the
got great.
greatest tools.
Yeah, he's got great tools, and it's like, wow, really. But yeah, this was perfect. They just parked the car in front of, or towed it, whatever, in front of the school, and then painted all over it to make it look like the rival school had stolen it and trashed it. But
And
yeah,
and
and then of course,
let me
yeah,
talk about some of the unsung
yeah.
cast members, not to make a pun, but the soundtrack.
Oh my God, yes, what a great soundtrack.
I mean, hit after hit after hit.
Yeah, yeah. It's I mean, just think of it. How many great songs ended up in this movie? It was it the Cars. I'm trying to think of all the different.
Jackson Brown, Tom
Yes.
Petty,
Oh my God.
Sammy
Yeah.
Hagar.
Yes. Oh my God. It went on and on.
It
It was
went on and on.
it was crazy
The
how many great.
Bangles.
Yes. Yeah. It was. I mean, every band that was either big or becoming big at the time was in this movie. So it was, yeah. And look at there again. Eric Stoltz was one of the stoners.
Yep.
Um,
Eric Stoltz, along with Anthony Edwards.
yes. Yeah. So again, I can't say enough with Nick Cage being in this movie.
Oh my God, that was great seeing him.
He's so young. He's such a kid in this movie that he's
I think he
almost
lied
unrecognizable.
about his age to get in.
Did he really?
Yeah,
How old was he? Do you
he
know?
was 17 at the time.
Oh wow. Yep, I think you said that actually. My head's a little
Yeah.
foggy from this. But no, and again, this it was so perfectly cast. when you look at when you look at Phoebe Cates and Jennifer Jason Leigh, they were perfect as the two female leads in this movie. Young actors and actors and actresses in this film that pulled off surprisingly competent performances. It was just amazing. But yeah, this
Much
is
like Nancy Wilson's cameo, Bruce Springsteen's sister was in
yes,
this movie.
yes, that's right, Pamela
Pamela
Springsteen.
Springsteen.
Yes. So again, it goes on and on. It's crazy
It
the
really
amount.
is.
It, I mean, what other movie can you think of that has so many uh,
Up and comers.
star, yeah, stars that made it, that actually became something, that went on to other bigger careers. So like I said, you can't say enough about who's in this, and
Yeah, I don't know how they got so lucky with the cast. Because again, who knew? These people were, for the most part, relatively untested at that time.
yeah, yeah. This this um, this job that he ended up taking Captain, whatever the hell it was, um, Captain Fish or whatever the hell it was.
Captain Hook's Fish and Chips.
Yes, it was. That was so damn funny. And when the manager tells him, "Oh no, you gotta wear the uniform. You're representing the company," and he says something like, "Have a little bit of pride and dignity." And I'm thinking to myself, taking off the uniform is having pride and dignity. But yeah, the poor guy was really hurting, and then of course when he runs into Nancy Wilson, who basically just looks over and starts laughing, and because she can't help it, and he first thinks, oh, she's smiling at me, she's flirting with me, and then when he starts to realize, wow, I'm in this stupid costume, that's when he starts like just throwing the shit out the window.
Yeah, I still think the funnier scene is where he gets fired from his first job.
Oh
The
my
guy
God, yes.
complains, I'm about to kick 100% of your
Yeah,
ass.
yeah, yeah. He definitely had a temper. He wasn't going to take that guy's crap. One of my pet peeves is because I've seen this a lot, um, and that is, you know, service workers like that when they're working in a place like that, it's a shitty job. It really is, and for some reason, people just seem to want to bully people that work in those positions. And it's like, if you had to do that yourself, have a little bit of heart, have a little bit of sympathy for people,
I
because
mean, you can extend that to everyone. It's funny how many people see others as beneath them.
yeah, yeah, and with no with no real reason either,
Right.
because it's so yeah, people. It's unfortunate, but a lot of people are just plain bullies,
Mm,
and that's and unfortunately, if they have the ability to push somebody around, people will do it, and or at least some people will. But yeah, like I said, it's kind of sad. Um, it's nice when you see somebody actually go out of their way to treat somebody, properly. But
mm,
I try to make the effort. I try to make the effort to go out of my way to not do stuff like that.
mm.
Um, but
I
because
mean, again, the saying goes, a smile costs you nothing, and it makes your environment a better place.
while I honestly feel, and I've always said this, but I honestly feel like it takes more effort to be a jerk or an asshole than it does to be kind, because because really, if you think about it, the amount of work that it takes to really be a jerk like that, you expend so much energy.
I don't know, Mike. Some people can do it
That's true.
effortlessly.
That's true. We've known a few, even
We
even in our
we have
family,
known a few.
unfortunately.
Now let me also talk about the other unsung cast member, the nostalgia. Look at this place. There's a cigarette machine right behind this
Yes.
guy in a fast food joint.
Oh
There is a
yeah.
smoking section in the theater.
Yes. Yep. Yeah. When he's selling tickets, as soon as he hands a ticket, he goes smoking up upstairs in the balcony, and it's he just routinely. But it's funny how many movies recently that I've noticed like smoking scenes in the movie, like whether it's on an airplane or whatever, things that were like commonly done and practiced. I saw another movie just very recently with a car full of kids in a station wagon, and they're in the back facing the rear of the car in one of those seats. And hey, I used to ride in a station wagon that had a rear facing seat. Your grandfather had a Chevy station wagon, and the seat folded up, and I loved to get in that. And most of the time, he would not roll the window down. I'd always want him to roll the window down. And he'd say, "No, no, not putting the window down." He was worried about the idea that I could fall out. But but at the same time, um, we rode there all the time. And you think about it, you get rear-ended, that kid's flying out the window, probably into the windshield of the other car, or just going airborne. And hey, I remember when you and your brother were really little, I had borrowed a pickup truck for us to move some stuff for your grandparents. And you and Mike, your brother, were riding in the back of the pickup truck, and guys were having a fun time. But
Oh, I mean,
it
it's like
was
a
a
carnival ride.
yeah, it was a pretty new pickup, and it was, the paint was new on the bed of the truck, and you guys were sliding around when I was driving it, and all I could hear was you guys laughing in the back because you were sliding around, and but I think about that to this day, and I think, wow, what if something had happened? What if the truck had gotten rear-ended or
Well, I
something
mean,
like
it's
that?
so much less. Driving is so much safer now.
Yes,
People
it
didn't
is.
think about safety at all back then.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't even like, I resisted seatbelts for the longest time.
Hmm.
I think the first time I actually decided to start wearing them, I got a pretty hefty ticket down in Connecticut for not having a seatbelt on. Back when I was doing antique delivery, um, I got pulled over coming off of an off ramp, and there was a cop right there, and he put his lights on, and I'm thinking, why is he pulling me over? I wasn't doing anything. He pulls me over and he goes, "Where's your seatbelt?" And so I was like, and he goes, "Yeah, it's a law. Put the seatbelt on." So he goes back to the cruiser, comes back with a ticket, and it was like $150. And I was like, "Wow." So I started making sure that I was wearing the seatbelt. But and that this is another hysterical scene, the one you got up right now,
This is
where
such a class. Yeah, other than Spicoli, this scene is the one scene that comes to mind when anyone
yes.
mentions this movie.
Oh yeah, and of course the great scene because he's looking out the window. He's looking out the window and he spies her, and he's had a really bad day. Everything's gone wrong in his day, and so of course he goes in the bathroom, and I think is this when he no that's after his bad day, but no, he tells his sister, like, just keep it down. It's I've got studying to do, which that's not what it was. But but he's studying all right. He's studying Phoebe Cates, and she did more for red bikinis than probably anybody. That scene of her coming out of the pool and saying, "I always liked you, Brad," but of course, he's in the bathroom, and damned if she doesn't walk in on him. And and he's like, "Doesn't anybody ever knock?" But
So if you remember that scene, the
yeah,
punchline of that scene where she walks
yes,
into the bathroom
yeah,
and she's horrified,
yeah,
that was real. He bought a fake phallus for that scene. So
really,
when
yeah.
she walked in, she really thought.
Wow. Well, I'll tell you what. She actually, this unfortunately isn't the face, but her mouth turns right. She's like, ah, her mouth turns right down.
When I learned that trivia, I paid close attention to this scene. Her face is it's just amazing.
It really is. It's perfect. It this scene was such an iconic scene too, because hey, any teenage boy, you know, you know the scene, but this was these two, first of all, were just perfect as the leads. They were
Mhm.
every male's fantasy, and I mean, again, the acting on everybody's part in this movie. But and hey, these two were great together. So when you think about all the, I love this scene here where he's coaching him, and he says, Like,
Oh, here's my 5-point plan.
yeah, yeah, yeah. When he gives the 5 point plan, and he goes like, wherever you are, that's the place to be. And he's like, hey, Debbie, isn't this great? As he talks to the Debbie Harry uh, poster and or cutout there. But no, it's like I said, just such a great movie. And there's Forrest Whitaker paying back the opposing team, by the way. Oh yeah, this scene here you've got up with Ratner and
Yeah, when
Ratner
it finally came down to it.
and Damone. Yeah, they're both, neither one of them really wants to go at it. And then the
Well,
coach
neither
comes
one of them
in.
are really fighters.
Yeah, no, no, not at all. No, even the way they put up their fists, it was such. Ratner's got his fists up like he's doing the Marquis of Queensbury rolls or something.
Yeah, but just watching this movie and seeing the clothes, hearing the music, the hairstyles,
Yeah,
so much of it, it really does bring you back to the 80s.
it really does. And then that Pat Benatar thing, that was hysterical. It was all there was that one girl that was real prominent. Which was that Pamela Springsteen? I think
I honestly don't know.
I'm pretty sure she was one of the Pat Benatars. But when Jennifer Jason Leigh says something about do you think I should do that or something? And she's like, oh no, you're way prettier than that. And she goes, there's not just one. And she starts pointing out, and there's like three of them. It's so like I said, that so many of the things, and think about Pat Benatar, all of the music videos that she had out, hit me with your best shot, and just there were there were there were so many Pat Benatar videos making the MTV rounds.
Well, yeah, again, part of the 80s. When that guy was scalping those tickets and those kids
Yes,
are complaining over 20 bucks, I'm
I
like, I
know.
can't even imagine.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, you couldn't find a ticket for 20 bucks. There's just no way.
They're like $100 or more.
Oh, easy, easy. It's crazy. It's crazy what ticket prices go for now. And and God forbid if you do have to go to a scalper, you're talking more like 500 bucks. It's it's
And you're
it's
probably not getting a real ticket. You're probably getting a fake.
yeah, yeah. So it's like trying to buy weed. Back then you used to end up getting oregano or something if you were trying
Oh
to buy
yeah.
weed. There was so much fake stuff circulating around.
I've gotten ripped off a time or two. Not often,
So did
but
I. So did I. I got a bag of stuff that was, I don't know what the hell it was, but but yeah, it wasn't real weed anyway. And then the other thing is I had times where I got something and you're smoking it, you're thinking there's something else in this besides weed. So when you talk about like legalization and things like that, that's another thing that I feel like the states that have legalized it have made it a hell of a lot safer
oh,
because
definitely.
yeah, unless you really know somebody that maybe is doing their own grow or something like that, if you're buying it just from any person, you don't know what you're getting, and you still don't to this day. And but back then, I mean, half the time it was some kind of junk weed that they
It
were
was the
treating
Wild
this stuff.
West.
You're smoking angel dust. You have no idea what you're smoking. So like I said, I think it's probably a lot safer. Now this scene here, where they walk into the burger place and they just immediately all of them just take off their shirts. It's like,
I know you guys had shirts when you came in
yeah,
here.
that was hysterical. He's pointing to the sign, and it says no shirt, no shoes, no service. Learn it, live it. But yeah, he was great as he was such a manager type. And that last scene there where he ends up getting he ends up getting the credit, and they're showing like what became of them, and it says, he made like whatever it was, manager of the well, it was manager of the store, I guess. But no, like I said, this movie just had so many hysterical moments in it. It's so well done.
And as you said, poignant moments as well. It really, it's easy to think about this as a teen sex comedy or just a teen comedy, but I mean, there was such depth to this movie.
Yeah. Well, even the stuff, because I'm not going to get on a soapbox or preach anything, but even the whole thing about pro-choice and stuff like that. I mean, young girl that ends up getting in trouble, and there's no way that she was going to be able to deal with that situation other than and that's the other thing is, you know, I mean, there may be some people that do something like that without a whole lot of thought, but for the most part, somebody that has to resort to that, they're doing it. It's not something they want to go through or deal with. It causes a lot of trauma. And so to me, it's like I said, I'm not going to get into a thing over it, but we try to stay away from those things.
We're going to stick to the movies.
Stick to the movies. But again, and then the brother, that's a real touching moment too, where
Mhm.
he's waiting for her
He really
outside,
comes
and
through
it's
for her.
yeah, he really came through. Because not only did he give her a ride there, not knowing what he was doing, but then he waited for her to pick her up, asking her if she's okay. It's a beautiful moment, and again, like I said, there's a few of those moments in this movie. So the people that do, the good people really show themselves for being good people, and
And
he's
I
one
mean,
of
even the scene where Ratner sort of makes up with that jerk, Damone,
yes, yeah,
even that it's touching, it's understated, but as
yeah.
it would be with guys at that age.
Sure. And it's and yeah, he comes over and he does apologize to him, and he says that, he goes, are we still friends? And he hesitates a little bit. He goes, yeah, we are. And they
But
and
then
they shake.
insults him just to show they're friends.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I mean, it's again, um, there's the people that are in this movie are very human. They're very real people, and they managed to get across in a teen sex comedy, so which is so much more than that, and it's why this movie is great. Um,
Okay, here's a little trivia that I'll bet you don't know.
sure,
We always talk about alternate cast members, like they were considering Ali Sheedy for one of the roles. What would the movie be like if she had been cast instead of Phoebe Cates?
yeah,
Um,
not as
uh,
good.
and we could talk about that. There are things about that, but what I found really interesting is Universal Studios. Guess who they originally wanted to direct this movie?
Who besides
David
Amy Heckerling?
Lynch.
Who
David Lynch.
really?
Can you
Wow.
imagine a Lynchian Fast Times?
Wow. Well, I love David Lynch. I really love David Lynch. It would definitely have not have been the same movie. Um, but it would be fun to actually see what he would have done.
Oh my
But
God, I'm so curious how he would have treated this material.
yeah, that's amazing that they actually were thinking of putting him as the director. That's crazy.
I
Um,
read that and I'm thinking, uh, Lynch?
yeah,
Have you
yeah, Vol,
seen Eraserhead?
yeah, yeah, Blue Velvet, Eraserhead, Mulholland Drive. I mean,
Wild at Heart?
yeah, it would have been a different movie.
Very.
Um, but yeah, I'm not saying it wouldn't have been a good movie, but it would. I don't think it would be the movie that we're talking about today
It would
at
not
all.
be, it would not be. The director here really wanted to instill an American graffiti feel.
Yes,
And
it is,
she succeeded.
yes, it's all of that for the 80s. It's she managed to encompass everything about what the 80s were. Um, so yeah, like I said, it's this movie. I was very young. I saw this at the theater. I think I saw this down at the old Newington Theater down there, Newington, New Hampshire, but the Newington Mall Theater. But as far as like remembering this movie and when I saw it, everything about uh, the experience of seeing it, it's so frozen in my mind as being an early, movie going experience. Just a terrific, memory and movie.
Yeah, I can't remember where I first saw this because I think I must have been like around 14 when this came out. So I'm not sure I could have seen it at the theater.
No, I don't think you did. I think you probably saw it on maybe on VHS, which means the way you probably saw it um, when you most recently saw it was probably a much better experience because um,
Probably less stuff cut out.
well, less stuff cut out. The VHS copies were almost always like 4:3 format instead of the original anamorphic. We're so much luckier in what we can see today, not only in the correct format, because movies, they routinely, if you're looking at a widescreen picture behind you, they would use pan and scan or they would
Mm,
crop the picture. Um, the people that started complaining about black bars above the picture, I remember standing in a Walmart one time and listening to a woman going on about the black bars, and she was saying, "You don't see all the picture." And I actually turned from the I was picking out some movies, and I said, "It's just the opposite." And she looks at me, and I said, "The black bars mean you actually are seeing the entire picture. The black bars are there because they have to they have to create the black bars so that it fits on the screen." But
mm.
and that was again where you're watching it on a 4:3 screen. You don't always get black bars on the widescreen TVs that we have today. So again, we're so much more fortunate.
If you're a movie lover today, you're so lucky.
Mhm.
We are so lucky.
Well, and again, think of it. Um, Even just like if you can obtain a 4K copy of a movie, um, the 4K copy is as good or better, maybe even than the theater presentation that you would have had back then. So that's another thing is what you're able to see. Watching, I own the Twilight Zone, the entire collection of the Twilight Zone, and when I saw that as a kid, I watched that on a fuzzy, a fuzzy screen that was the 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 quality of that screen was terrible. And now those Twilight Zones have been remastered. They're HD. They're high definition. You never saw them as good as you can see them now. So again, we're really fortunate, whether it's TV or movies. So I hope people realize how fortunate they are, because you definitely didn't get that. So
Well, I'm not sure how much more I can say about this movie except to give it two thumbs up. This is
yeah,
when you first picked this, I didn't think that much of it. Again, it's easy to consider this just a standard teen high school comedy, but when you
yeah,
watch it, you realize how much deeper it goes.
yes. It's it's not just a teen sex comedy at all. It's all of that, and then it's so much more. It's again, it's, this scene here where she has just recently gained some experience, and she's now that she's been dumped by her first boyfriend, and she picks up with Mark Ratner. She invites him in, and of course now that she's experienced, she brings it. But he is a total virgin. He's scared, and he ends up fleeing because he's thinking to himself, "I'm not ready for this. I'm not ready for this." And so much of this is true to how early experience is, and even Damone there with his supposedly slick attitude. When he finally has a chance to actually have sex, you can see that he's got no experience either. So they're all stumbling through, and they do such a
There are
good
times,
job.
there are scenes in this movie that are actually hard to watch
Yeah,
because they evoke what it was like to be at that age, and
yeah.
it's so cringy.
Oh yeah. Well, and that's one of the things, you look at like high school life, and people will tell a high school student, "Oh, this is the best time of your life. Enjoy it." And it's like, maybe for some it is, which is actually kind of sad if that's the best time of your life. But because there's so much more to learning and living and growing.
And life becomes so much more enjoyable once you relax into your own skin.
Yeah. And if you are a high school kid that is struggling through, or just a young person, whether you're in college, whatever, that's struggling through, life gets better. And for the most part, for most people, life gets better.
Mhm.
And that's something that it's important to know, because if you're thinking this is the best it's ever going to be, that's sad, because you're probably at your most awkwardness, your most awkward stage in life when you're there. You're everything's it's I mean it's kind of cool that it's new and exciting, but at the same time it's also painful. And this movie encompasses all of that and more. So again, that's why the movie is great. I easily give this two thumbs up,
Mhm.
easily. So
This has been entered into the National Registry by the Library of Congress because of its
yeah,
cultural significance.
it's dude. I think it's really an important film in so many ways. It says so much. And again, look at the cast we have here. Um, we were really fortunate that they picked the people they picked. I mean, again, somebody like a young Nick Cage, and he looked so young and dorky in this too. It was hysterical. Um, so yeah, this movie is perfectly cast, wonderfully done. I give it to Amy Eckerling too. It was a beautiful effort by her. So terrific job. I think that's it. That's all we can really say. My voice is giving out.
Yeah, I know, I
Um,
know.
so Dom, what's your pick for next week? Or do
Okay,
you
I
know?
apologize to be following such a culturally significant movie with something that's probably going to be, well, fluff, let's just say. But blame Hulu.
What is
Who
it?
blame Hulu?
Oh, okay.
I've been watching a fair amount of Hulu lately, and they have been relentlessly pushing the new Predator movie, Predator Badlands. And
Okay.
I'm giving in. I'm choosing that movie, Predator
Okay.
Badlands, the most
I
recent
haven't seen
movie.
it yet. So I've been thinking about choosing Predator at some point. So that's cool. That's a good,
Well, the thing
uh,
is, Predator, a classic science fiction, great movie.
yes.
Predator Badlands, I've got my doubts about. I
Yeah.
want to give it a chance.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm anxious to give it a look. So, people, if you're still with us, you're still hanging in there with my cracked voice. Hopefully next week when I rejoin, my voice will be better. Um, but, um, but yeah, join us for join us for Predator Badlands.
for our most recent movie. Movies that are so recent, it's almost like a Siskel and Ebert review.
Yeah, yeah. So that's pretty awesome right there. Um, not that we're comparing ourselves to
Oh,
Siskel and Ebert,
no.
but at the same time, uh, if you would leave a like, subscribe, check out our other stuff. Um, the other ones don't have this scratchy voice. So,
Oh, and
but
I've got some great links about little known facts for Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
excellent, excellent. We're looking forward to seeing that. And Dom's gonna hopefully add a good description on this one for the synopsis. And Dom, I will see you next week.
I will see you next week, man. Hope you're feeling better.
Yeah, I hope so too. All right, take care.